Here's what you're doing today to get better at boxing, specifically to improve your footwork. This is a warm-up that you should be doing daily, and however, this is a progressive part of the warm-up. It is part of the foundational 4-part movements that I have that you do 2 times through. So if you notice, that should only take you 4 minutes and 5 seconds total. So the first one that we do is we do side to sides. Second one that we do is box pivots. The third one that we do is called shifts, and the fourth one that we do is circles. Now, the specific footwork that we're working on is something that I call in my system, which is half steps. It's not a full step because most people think a full step being left, right when I come forward, right, left when I come back, left, right when I go to the left, and right, left as far as when I go towards the right. Those are actually 2 half steps. So you're moving one with the left, moving one with the right, whatever direction you go. So in order to call that something so it's easier for my guys to understand or people who follow my system so I can tell them how things work, I call it half steps. So what we're going to work on today is our half step series. So we're going to go through our side to sides and incorporate our half steps. We're going to go through our box pivots and incorporate our half steps. We're going to go through our shifts, incorporate half steps, and then we're going to go through our circles and we're going to incorporate half steps. Now we're only working on outside half steps right now. And outside half steps are when we come slightly outside of our frame, but we want to make sure that we are always able to do all 3 things for us, which is be able to attack, defend, and move. So if we come outside of our frame and we're not able to do those particular things, we are getting caught out of position, which is not good for us from a boxing standpoint. So that's the reason why we're doing that today. Let's get into the examples. We're going to start first with the side to sides. If you don't know what those look like already, they look a little bit like this. What we're working on is what it feels like to go ahead and complete our weight all the way, particularly on one side. Because we're focused on footwork today, we're going to do one of those, and we're going to start working on our half steps. The first one that I'm going to do is I'm going to come backwards off that half step with my right foot. Then I'm going to take my left foot to the left off a half step, bring it back in. I'm going to take my right foot to the right off a half step and go ahead and bring it back in. Now from here, I'm going to switch to do the same thing on the other side. Half step going backwards, right foot half step going to the right, left foot half step going to the left. So off of the drill, what we would do is do that for 30 seconds at a time. So that way we could just focus on the intentions of doing this correctly, no matter how long each step takes, because we want to be perfect. And then as soon as the bell would sound for the 30 seconds being up, we would now get into the next part, which is going to be box pivots, and we're specific on the half steps. So box pivots, if you're not sure what those look like, that's just us coming here, getting into that pivot, going to the other side, getting into that pivot, going into the other side, getting into that pivot, Now, because we're working on half steps today, we're not going to do what that was an anchor step. So all I'm going to do here now is I'm going to go half step, making sure that I'm balanced so that way I can go ahead and get into a pivot. I can get into a pivot, replace that half step. Now I'm going half step with the right foot. Pivot, making sure that I'm balanced enough to pivot when I need to when I'm on an outside half step. Now I'm taking this left foot slightly to the left. Pivot, bring it back in. Right foot slightly to the right. Pivot, bring it back in. So once again, you would complete that for 30 seconds, just going as slow as possible to make sure everything's perfect, and you're always able to do those 3 things that we discussed each time that we go through. Right in there. And so we would do that until the 30-second bell sounded. Then we get into the next exercise, part 3 of it, which is going to be shifts. Shifts just look like slip, punch, roll. But once again, we have an emphasis on the half steps, and they're outside half steps. So what we're doing now is we're going that half step first, then we're going to slip, then we're going to slip, then we're going to punch, then we're going to punch, then we're going to roll, then we're going to roll. Bring that half step in. Once again, the reason why we're doing that is because when I come outside and I don't want to get caught out of position, I still have to be able to do those things. Slip, punch, roll. So now I'm going to go backwards. Same thing. I'm going slip, punch, roll. Bring that foot back in. Now I'm going to the left. Well, that would be as far as now I'm coming to the left here. Instead of going slightly forward now, slip, punch, roll, bring that foot back in. Now I'm going to the right, slip, punch, roll, roll. We would do that for 30 seconds, making sure everything's perfect. We don't have to worry about how many times we're doing it. We're doing it for time at that point. And then we get into the last thing that we're doing, which is going to be circles. Now, circles, we go both left and right, but for here, we're going to do one going to the right first. Those half steps, if you see here, working in that circle, working in that circle, working in that circle. And then I'm also going to go to the left because we will switch off the next 30 seconds as well. So I'm going half step, half step, half step, half step, half step, half step, half step. So once again, I would do that for 30 seconds. So if you notice, this is the half step emphasis on our footwork. We had the side to sides for 30 seconds. Then we got into the box pivots for 30 seconds. Then we got into the shifts for 30 seconds. And then lastly, we got into the circles for 30 seconds. Choose what side you're going to do first off of that, because whatever side you did for the circles going left, that means for the second time through, you would go right. So then you'd go right back into it again. You would go side to sides, box pivots, shifts, and then lastly a circle to the right. That is our warm-up emphasis, how we put for a progressive standpoint, so not just as foundation, but we are working on particular steps, and those were half steps. Ask me questions, that's what I make videos on, but that is the emphasis for today, and that is our footwork. I'll see you on the next one.